Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing GP bikes, and we're going to be using Sam Lowe's Aprilia RSGP from 2017. It was a mod I found a few days ago, and I was very keen to try bikes from the 2017 and onwards. We've tried 2019 of course, and even bikes from the past, and I kind of wanted to play as Sam Lowe's, or to pretend I was Sam Lowe's in some sort of way, but unfortunately I couldn't find his suit, and I certainly don't have the ability to make it myself, so we're using Tom Sykes' helmet and just some bog standard Dainese leathers. Now, first and foremost, we are here in Aragón, which is probably the most important thing about this video, because this track here in Aragón looks the best out of any GP bikes tracks I have tried so far. And this is courtesy of Manu, who is a massive member of the community of GP bikes and has done an incredible job with Aragón here today. I'm absolutely loving my time with this track. I've never been more compelled to continue playing GP bikes than I have been today, after playing this wonderful mod for GP bikes. Major props to Manu. If you're interested in downloading this, you better check out his Discord server, where he has tons of stuff for GP bikes and honestly does some of the best work for this fantastic game. So if you are interested, check out his Discord, and there's a link down in the description below for that. Of course, if you're interested in just getting to know DrAce and the fan base as well, come and join my Discord server as well. Both links will be in the description. But as far as Aragón goes, a challenging, somewhat difficult circuit. I don't think it's the hardest circuit in MotoGP, but it's not one I particularly do the best at. I do enjoy this track very much. The fast corners and some of the shorter corners, especially like the reverse corkscrew for example, and that extremely tight left-hander for turn 10 is just absolutely brilliant here in Aragón. And honestly, major props to the modders and developers of GP bikes for just continually bringing out better and better content. From when I first started playing the game, I felt like things looked a little bit basic, a little bit bland, but the way people have come together, gamers and artists alike, have combined wonderful paints and a bit of knowledge into terms of coding and gaming to make something really special. Now, the thrilling part of GP bikes for me is the constant desire to improve my riding, to improve the handling of the bikes to make it look more realistic. For me, I think it's down to me. I've got to make sure my riding style looks a little bit cleaner on the camera, but honestly, the bikes feel fantastic. This Aprilia felt really great. I really enjoyed my time with it. I had a few crashes and, you know, I made a couple of mistakes here and there, and I'm still getting used to manual gears, which I think I'm doing a much better job at. I'm learning to hold the gear rather than upshifting or downshifting, depending on what sort of revs I'm running, and just generally giving it a better attempt and just spending more and more time with GP bikes. Now, balancing GP bikes with Ride 4 and MotoGP 21, and each bike game feels different somehow, but rewardingly everyone does something different. Now, Ride 4 gives you obviously the credits, you have that sort of interest with the time trials and things like that. Here on GP bikes it's a little bit different. I'm just trying to improve, I'm just trying to get a little bit better at the game. I do want to eventually jump online and play with some other riders, but for the time being I think I've still got a lot of work to do, learn more about it, learn the mechanics a little bit better, probably adjust to maybe some of the controls. I do plan on doing a some sort of hand cam gameplay with GP bikes, not necessarily as a guide, because I don't think I'm at a stage where I can really guide new players on GP bikes, but what I do feel like is I could show what I'm doing and just show how I've got my controller set up, because after I spent a bit of time to set things up, I did find a balance between controls, gameplay and difficulty, and matching it up with enjoyment as well, because you can make this game extremely hard for yourself if you don't have any assists on, and maybe you make it a little bit harder with having a very twitchy dead zone for example, or if you have something like myself where it's a little bit smoother and you can apply the brakes a little bit more firm and you're not just going to fly straight over the handlebars. Of course, it's entirely up to you how you play the game. There's no right or wrong way to play. Whether you want to play in helmet cam, whether you want to play in third person, whether you want to have manual gears, whether you want to have semi-automatic, entirely up to you. But what I did find with some of the MotoGP mods, that you did have to run it with manual gears only. That's probably the only reason I jumped to manual gears. As far as MotoGP 21 and Ride 4 continues to play, and the more videos I make for them, I still leave that in semi-automatic transmission. But of course, as mentioned, Aragón, this is the point of today's video, and giving a shout out to Manu's incredible work here. Difficult track, honestly, but I really enjoyed this one, and I think because it looks realistic, because the track is somewhat difficult, especially here into turn 12, I incorrectly called it turn 10 earlier, don't know why. I was thinking of La Caixa in Catalonia, for example, as I'm making a bit of a mistake regaining the track. I made a couple of mistakes here in this one. I'm still obviously learning, still getting better, but I feel really, really good here in Aragon. So we're going to give it some more welly in a minute. I'm going to start trying to not just improve the lap, but also get a little bit more confident and more aggressive with this machine. I do tend to find that when I try to be aggressive with these machines, I really struggle. I decide to start maybe downshifting too much. Something I had a little bit of an issue when I transitioned over to GP bikes was where I would downshift too much on the braking, and it comes to a point where I just downshift so much the bike would just spin, and it was just ugly. And I'm trying to break away from the habit. I have done it too many times, and of course playing the likes of MotoGP and Ride 4, you can do that. You can spam it straight down to the bottom, and it doesn't tend to be too much negative factors. Ride 4 handles it a little bit better. You do tend to find if you downshift straight down to first gear, the bike will spin a little bit, but MotoGP 21, the bike seems to just stay still. Whether that's a seamless transmission, I'm not sure. But either or, it does feel a little bit unrealistic sometimes. But again, I'm not entirely sure if that's the case for MotoGP 21. But because I started to push and give it my all and start going for it, mistakes happened. And I got into a bit of a rut where this one mistake turned into many mistakes from going into turn 12 and again, downshifting too much, hitting a little bit too much brake. But one thing I didn't tend to find I was doing was dropping the front. A couple of mistakes here and there for the rear tyre, downshifting too much, and just losing concentration and focus. I got into a bit of a bad rut, but I did stay confident, I stayed positive, and I started having some really good runs. Like this one, I was up by a whole second before ultimately crashing out again. Now, something I did neglect to mention is, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, we have some sort of heads-up display, and I believe this is from Max's heads-up display, which has been really, really great. And I tell you what, this deserves a video in itself with the amount of features that is available in this heads-up display. And I think this heads-up display will change the game from just being a 1 or 2 lap wonder with testing or maybe racing and that sort of basic look that it had to a full-fledged learning experience, because this tells you everything you need to know. And some of the stuff in the heads-up display are just fantastic. As I mentioned, we'll save that for another video because I could go all day with the amount of info that is in these heads-up displays. But for the time being, we are in a pretty dandy lap right now, up by 1 second. We just, fingers crossed, we don't make the same mistake that we have been doing, which you've seen as a bit of a compilation, a montage of crashes, if you will. But now onto the left-hand side for the Marc Marquez corner. Nice and tight to the apex to bring on the acceleration, getting it into 3rd and 4th gear. Got to be careful here, though, because this very, very difficult turn 12. We're braking in nice and gentle, not downshifting too much, not like I have been doing. Dropping it down to 1st gear and making a massive mistake. Onto the right-hand side we'll go. Giving it a bit of brake once again, the right boot touching the floor. Actually using Vinales' riding style here today. Felt like this one was probably my favourite. And now it is time to bring on acceleration. The lap times have improved already. Started off as a 1:53 such, now it's a 1:51.2. I think we're going to do even better right here, right now. So here we go on the left-hand side of the tyre, dropping it down to 3rd gear. 90 miles an hour, holding the line, holding the acceleration to then bring it in nice and tight. This is going to be a fan-dabby-dozy lap if we can get across the line. Is it going to be a 150? It is a 1:53.60. How about that then? So I've got to say I'm pretty happy with that progression. I'm very much enjoying my times with GP bikes. As I mentioned a few days ago in the last couple of videos I've made, let me know about any more mods you want me to try out because I'm very, very keen. But upon that note, guys, that's going to be it from me. That's pretty much all I recorded here today, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing as well, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.